Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's reading, we're going to be finding out how your spirit guides are trying to communicate with you right now. So the main things we're going to look at are what specific signs your guides are sending your way to get your attention, what their message is for you, and also how you can connect with them better. So there are 3 readings for you guys to choose from today, and these are actually all different colors of moonstone. So pile number 1, this is the white moonstone, pile number 2 is the gray, and pile number 3 is the black. So please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. If you feel drawn to more than one, please feel free to listen to as many of the readings as you like, okay? So as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s. So if you chose the white moonstone, this is going to be a reading. So let's see how your spirit guides are trying to communicate with you. I'm going to start with a few oracle cards here. So we have co-create, round and round, and imagine. Okay, so from what it looks like, just from these first 3 cards, it seems like your guides tend to prefer communicating with you from within yourself rather than from signs on the outside. So the method that guides choose to communicate with us, I believe that they do it deliberately because there's a certain area that they want us to focus on. So if your guides are choosing more to communicate from within yourself, meaning, within your own mind or messages that come from your own thoughts, it's likely that your guides are trying to get you to trust your inner judgment more rather than relying on signs and confirmations from the outside. I'm not saying they'll never give you a sign in the outer world, but I'm just looking at these 2 cards, the round and round with this spiral coming out of the person's third eye, and imagine, which of course it has this feeling of, something going on, well, quite literally in our imagination, inside our head. It seems like for you guys, a lot of your guides' communications with you, it's going to be in your thoughts. So you'll hear a voice in your head tell you something, but rather than just your regular inner dialogue, it's actually a guide coming through and speaking to you telepathically. You could also have very telling dreams that have specific messages for you. I'm noticing that both of these cards have this really nice blue color, which is related to the throat chakra. So a way that you guys could actually get messages from your guides is to try channeling them through speaking. So what this will kind of feel like at first is like you're just rambling and talking to yourself. And I've done it before and it can feel kind of weird, but if you're able to tap into the energy of your guides, you can go on this whole monologue that is this long and detailed message from them. It's like your guide is speaking to you through your own mouth, if you know what I mean. That could be something that you guys are actually really good at with this blue color here. You guys could be really good at channeling beings in the soul world. I'm also getting the message that you guys are claircognizant. So that's something that your guides want to tell you. That means that you have the gift of knowing things without previously being informed in the 3D. So you might just know certain details about a person, or you might just know what's going to happen, even though nobody told you and there's no logical way that you could have known that. That is a skill of yours. So I think you guys are really, really tapped into the spirit world. And the reason your guides are choosing to communicate with you more in your head, more from within, is because they want you to go within and tap into that and discover that. They want you to start or continue, if you're already on this journey, being able to discern where the thoughts in your head are coming from. Like, is this my higher self talking to me? Is this a guide talking to me? Is this a person that I'm spiritually connected to who is coming through and talking to me? They just want you to be more aware of that, more aware of the thoughts in your head and your dreams. And like I said, I really think you guys also have the ability of channeling messages from your guides and through other beings through speech. So let's get to this co-create card as well. I'm looking at the imagery here and I'm imagining this as you, like you're the little owl sitting here. This is your spirit guide up above, and they're feeding you some inspiration for a creative idea. Because this egg, which is representing the creation, you know, if we look at it, it's much, much bigger than what we might think an owl can physically produce. So you guys might give birth, so to speak, to creative ideas or to inspirations that are much bigger than you, that maybe as your how can I say, like just as your human self, you wouldn't have been able to come up with it, but because you were receiving downloads from your spirit guides, because you were receiving inspiration from the spirit world, you were able to come up with this massive, beautiful idea to create something in the world. So for those of you who are creators, for those of you who are artists, your spirit guides may actually be trying to help you with your creations, and they may actually be giving you ideas for them without you realizing. If any of you have ever had that experience of making a work of art and being like, I wonder where that came from. Where did that idea come from? That's probably your spirit guides giving you some idea that is inspired by what's going on in higher dimensions. Yeah, so this looks really, really cool so far. There's one more thing. I want to say with co-creates, because it's this idea of people creating together. Your spirit guides may use other people's creations to give messages to you. Meaning, when you're listening to a song, they may use the lyrics that that individual has created to get a message through to you. Or they may use the sentences written in a book. Like their energy hops onto it so they can send that message to you. That's kind of a weird way of explaining it, but it's like someone else created the work, the spirit guides have the message for you, and they come through like, okay, I think you know what I mean. Any sort of creativity like books, music, movies, pay attention to things that stand out because it could be messages from your guides. So with that being said, let's take a look at your tarot cards now. So there's the Ace of Swords. There's the Eight of Cups. Oh, I should probably say, in the past few videos I've done, I've noticed a couple comments of people asking me why I flip over the cards when they come out in reverse. I don't really read reversals that often. There's rare occasion where I like to do it, but for the most part, I don't. I tend to flip them over and just read them in the upright position. So, going here with the Ace of Swords. This can be some information for you guys to help you determine which messages are coming from your spirit guides, because like we were talking about earlier, they're coming from within, and that can be a little bit hard to discern, right? Is this message from my spirit guide, or is it from my ego? Is it from my wishful thinking? What's going on? Your spirit guides are telling you when they send messages to you through telepathy, through your claircognizant abilities, they're going to be so sudden and unexpected, and they're going to hit you like a lightning bolt. And usually they will come in when it's unrelated to what you were thinking about, so that it can stand out more to you. Like you were thinking about puppies, and then all of a sudden you get this message like, so-and-so is going to communicate with you tomorrow, and then it happens. There's no way your train of thought about puppies would have led you to that. So it stands out like a sore thumb, is what they're trying to say. And if you are somebody who actually hears a voice in your head when you're going through your thoughts, a voice might actually come to you that is very loud, but not alarming, but just very loud and clear. And they're trying to tell you something important. Now, moving on to the Eight of Cups, a message for you guys from your guides may be that it is time to move on from something. And I'm feeling for most of you, this will have to do with your life path, maybe with your career path. Basically moving on from your current environment and going into a new environment that is more in alignment with your calling, with what you really love to do. When the Eight of Cups appears, it tells us that there's not much more for us in our current environment. There's not much more that could feel fulfilling or rewarding. I'm not really feeling for most of you that your current environment is so harmful to you or detrimental in any way, but I think your guides are sort of trying to gently urge you to this new idea of maybe it's time for a new challenge, it's time for a new adventure, and it's time to really spread our wings. If there's something that you guys have been really wanting to do with your life, such as a place you really want to go, a career path you really want to pursue, a skill or talent you want to develop, maybe sharing your spirituality with people, your guides really want you to go for it. And I'm seeing that maybe a blockage that is holding you back is just how daunting it is, because look at how freaking high this mountain is. Mountains can represent, you know, the challenges along the way, the obstacles, the difficulties. And when we look at how tall and steep this is, there may be this feeling within you of like, I don't even know how to start, you know? I don't even know how to begin this journey. And it's like you're thinking of all the things that you're gonna have to do to get there, and it's so overwhelming. And your guides are telling you, just focus on step one, okay? You don't need to know all of the steps. And if it's hard, it's okay. It's okay. This is, you know, things that are worth doing are often not so easy. The Ace of Swords, it can also be a card that represents a challenging start. So it just kind of feels maybe for you guys that it's this prospect of a challenging beginning that is stopping you from embarking on the whole journey altogether. And your guides are saying, yes, the first step is going to be tough. So they're not saying like, oh, go for it, it's going to be totally fine and easy. They're saying, yeah, it's going to be challenging, but this is your path and it is so worth it. And you will not come across anything on this journey that is too much for you, okay? You are so perfectly equipped for this. You are ready. You have what it takes, and we're going to be there with you. So it's just about making that decision to go for it. So your guides can be popping in and giving you messages like this, like it's time to go on this journey. It's time to start this new chapter of your life. And like I said, I think for a lot of you, it will have to do with a talent that you want to develop, a career you want, maybe a place you want to go. It could be, you know, related to your creative gifts or your psychic gifts, sharing those with people. But it's time to get started, and don't be afraid of the challenges, because the challenges are going to help you grow and make you so much stronger. It sounds cheesy, but it's true, okay? I promise that it's true. And I just feel like your current environment is getting a little bit stale. Like there's so much more for you. There's so much more fulfillment, and there's so much more happiness on the other side of this mountain. And I'm seeing with the Six of Wands, this is the Six of Wands, you guys are meant to be victorious in this endeavor. I really think that your success in this endeavor is destined. I also just want to point out that you might see a blue butterfly as a sign from your guides, because I've heard of many people seeing such things out in the world or in a dream. It could even just be on a simple illustration like this one. But I've heard of a lot of people seeing butterflies, and especially blue ones, interestingly. I don't know if that resonates with you. But sorry, back to what I was saying before my tangent. This is a card about victory. And in this imagery specifically, I see this being who has transformed and who has risen above conflict, risen above the adversity. You guys are not only meant to embark on this journey, but you're meant to be very successful, and you're meant to be known for your accomplishments. Your talents are meant to be shared with the world. You transform, you show your talents, and you cause a chain reaction of people transforming and showing their talents. When it comes to the Daughter of Swords, this is like the Page of Swords, and there's many different ways to interpret this card, but how I'm thinking of it in the context of this reading is friendship and community. I'm even thinking of these little rainbow colored dots around you as like the higher selves of your soul family. And it's a very diverse group, as you can see, but I think your guides are calling you to find your community. I think you guys have a very diverse soul family, but you have the same ambition, you have the same dream. So you guys are all interested in the same thing and pursuing it. So like maybe you are all musicians, or maybe you're all going to law school, or maybe you're all chefs. I don't know. It could be anything, but you're all pursuing the same dream. And I think, yes, your dream is very ambitious and it can seem very daunting. And what your guides are saying to you is, if you find this community, if you find your like-minded friends, it becomes so much less scary. It becomes less hard to go for it, because there's this sense of we're all in this together. And when we're struggling, we can share our struggles with each other. We can share with each other our little tips and advice, and we can lift each other up. So finding your community is going to be so essential and so helpful to your success. Your guides are saying you don't have to do this on your own. Okay? Yeah, so let's take a look at the remaining cards now. These two oracle cards are crystals. They're the Crystal Spirit Oracle. I think that's what it's called. And I just wanted to see if there's any crystals that your guides could encourage you to have around to strengthen your connection with them. So there's amber and rhodonite. Ooh, interesting. So we have this amber stone here, which stimulates creativity. So I think that goes really nicely with the co-create. It also just really lifts your spirits. It makes you feel confident. It makes you feel like you're ready to take charge of your life. Think of this beautiful, fiery, this is like Leo-like energy, so creative and passionate and ready to take on the world. And then we have this beautiful rhodonite. This is a stone that either I heavily associate or it is heavily associated. I don't remember, but it's heavily associated with angels. So you guys may not only have spirit guides with you, but angels and archangels who are helping you along your journey. And this is a stone that is connected to your heart chakra. So there is a need for you guys, again, to go within, listen to your heart, and figure out what your heart really wants to do. I know this path is tough and this path looks challenging, but in the long run, what is even more hard is ignoring your heart. That life where you're ignoring your heart is going to be so much harder than climbing this mountain. That much I can tell you for sure. So rhodonite is about, again, connecting to your heart. It's also about finding compassionate and harmonious relationships. So this is a stone that could also help you to find your soulmates and your soul family. But your guides are saying that if you have these stones around, or really any stones similar to this, so like rose quartz, for example, or carnelian, any orange or pink colored crystals, those could be your lucky colors that help you to connect better to your guides and help you get back in touch with your higher self, as well as balancing the chakras that need to be balanced. So this is your final oracle card here. This is just going to be a final message from your guides. And they're saying, be gentle with yourself. You've been through a lot and need time to heal and recover. This rhodochrosite, this is actually very, very similar to the rhodonite. It's a pink crystal and it helps to bring love and compassion and harmony into our lives. So there's really heavy focus on the heart chakra for you guys when it comes to this part of the reading. So like I've been mentioning a lot throughout this reading, I do think the path that you've chosen, the path that you want to pursue for your life, for your success, it's a lot. It's not an easy feat. However, this card is making me feel that maybe your mindset or your outlook on this endeavor is making it more difficult. You guys may be setting too unrealistic standards for yourself. You may be trying to force yourself into rigid of a structure. Or you may be too perfectionist when it comes to this thing. Like, I'm not going to put my creation out into the world until it's perfect. Or I've been doing it for this long and I've only reached this much success. That's wrong. That means I'm bad. I'm doing something wrong. Or like, what's the point because this mountain is so high and I'm never going to get there anyway. Remember, your guides are saying, just take the first step. Just take it one step at a time, and you can take as long as you need. something that's going to be harmful for you guys on this journey is if you compare yourself to others, or if you set too strict standards for yourself about where you need to be at any given time. So something for you guys to learn may be that wherever you are on your journey, that's where you're meant to be. Even if you're watching this and you have not started your journey yet, that's where you're meant to be. And your guides are not impatient. I think that's an expression, right? The universe is not impatient, we are. Anyway, I've heard that said. Your guides are not impatient with you. That's your own impatience with yourself. Yes, your guides are urging you to take this first step, but they're not in any hurry, and they'll wait until the end of time for you to feel ready, for you to feel confident and supported, and that you can really go for this. So please don't feel like this is any kind of, stern talking to, like you need to be getting cracking and get at it and do your work. No, it's just a little gentle reminder of what is within you and what wants to come out when you're ready. So yeah, just don't be harsh with the time frame. Don't be harsh with your approach. Let your heart take the lead. Your heart is coming through very, very strongly. And when you don't know what to do, you can use your channeling. Channel that from your spirit guides. It sounds really crazy, but just start talking. They will come through. They will come through and they will talk to you through your own words. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hi, number twos. So if you chose the gray moonstone, this is going to be a reading about how your guides are trying to communicate with you. So I'm going to start with a few oracle cards here. First, we have Thinker, Yin, and Regeneration. So I'm just quickly looking at the numbers. It looks like we have the number 4 appearing quite a bit throughout these cards. So this could be a repeating number that your guides use to communicate with you. You might see 44 a lot, or 444. This number is showing that the energy of your guides towards you, it's very comforting and protecting. They're here to make you feel more stable and more secure. When it comes to the Thinker card, there's a couple of interpretations that I'm getting from this card, so you may resonate with one of them or perhaps both. But the essence of this card is that many of you guys who chose this pile may be overthinking when it comes to communicating with your guides. So one way I can interpret that is that when you're receiving messages or signs, you question too much, like if this is really a sign, if this is really my guides talking to me, are my guides really supporting me? Are they really happy with this? And your guides are telling you, if you feel that, take that initial instinct. Don't try to, overanalyze the message and if it's really true and what did they mean by that, because that's when your ego starts to come in and fill your head with all of these illusions. That's where we get these ideas that, oh, I was just wishful thinking, or oh, my guides are getting annoyed with me. I feel like you guys are just thinking too much. If you see a sign and it makes you feel good, please take it. That is your guide's gift to you. They want you to see that sign and they want you to feel good. And right when I was saying this, the camera timer went to 2:22. So 222 may also be numbers that you're seeing. We even have the number 2 here as well. The other way I can interpret overthinking is just that you guys have a mind that is too crowded. Like there's too many thoughts going through your head for you to hear your guides' messages properly. I'm sort of getting a similar vibe in this pile to something I picked up in pile 1, in that your guides are leaning towards communicating with you inwardly right now, meaning rather than seeing a ton of signs in the outer world, they may be moving more within right now and trying to communicate with you through thoughts that arise in your head or emotions that arise in your heart to try to get you back in touch with your inner self. So you could have, you know, a phrase being spoken in your head very clearly, and that's a message from your guide. But the idea, or what this card might be suggesting, is that there's so many thoughts racing through your mind all the time that it's a little bit difficult to pick them up, especially when I consider this yin energy. I think your guides are asking you to be more still, to be more calm and quiet, and be in a more receptive energy. And this is also a card that is associated, well, the yin energy. It's associated with the divine feminine. So your guides may be asking you to get more in touch with that energy rather than this thinker energy, which to me, it feels very masculine, like trying to find the structure for everything and trying to figure everything out and figuring out what action you can take. Your guides are asking you to just relax. Just relax and be still and be receptive, like this basin. I know it's kind of funny, but I'm imagining this as you guys, and then this is like your crown chakra, and your guides are coming in through there, with this face being your guide. So meditation might be a really good way for you guys to get in touch with your guides, but I would just say with that point, like, it could be difficult if you go into the meditation like too focused on the outcome. Like, I'm going to go into the spirit guide meditation and I'm going to see my spirit guide and they're going to say something to me, because then throughout your meditation you're just thinking about that outcome, and then you guys may start worrying about it, and like, if I don't see them, it means that I did the meditation wrong, or I'm going to be upset if I don't see them, and putting this pressure on yourself when really they are asking you to be completely still with no expectation and just open to whatever happens. Now, I'm not saying this is the only way your guides are going to come through to you, because I do believe they'll always be sending us signs within ourselves and in the outer world. But I think, like, in this present moment that you're watching this, they may be more focused on communicating to you through this way, because they want to teach you in the process of slowing down, of relaxing. I think this is something that you guys really need to learn. It's like, you guys may be the type, like, you just always want to have everything figured out. You always want to know and have a handle on everything that's going on. And I think your guides are wanting you to work through that and be okay with not knowing, be okay with not going anywhere, and just being open, just being in an open and allowing state. I think that's the biggest thing that is really coming through here. Finally, with the regeneration card, in addition to meditation, reconnecting with nature might be a really good way to clear your mind. That could be something that helps you to relax, to relieve your stress, and again, to be more open to your guides coming through and speaking to you. Also, with this meaning of nature, it could be that your guides use certain elements of nature to communicate with you. So, for example, you're thinking about a certain thing that you want confirmation on, and all of a sudden it starts raining or snowing, or a bunch of leaves start falling, or there's a huge clap of thunder. They may use certain things in nature to get their message across, especially to send you confirmations. I think they will use that method as sort of an outer validation to what you were thinking. Okay, so let's move on to our tarot cards now. So we have the Devil, the Father of Cups, which is like the King of Cups, the Father of Swords, which is like the King of Swords, and the Father of Wands, which is like the King of Wands. There's a lot of fathers going on here. I should also just mention quickly that I generally don't read reversals when I do readings on YouTube. Some people have been asking why I flip them over, and I don't know. Most of the time I don't really like to do it, so that's why I flip them and I just read everything in the upright. I think the Devil makes a lot of sense, because it can certainly talk about control issues or feeling trapped by our mind. What I think specifically when it comes to the imagery in this deck, because the Devil's feet are on fire, and it makes me think of like this urge to go somewhere. I think many of you guys are like rushing, like you're always rushing to get to the next destination and to reach the next goal. It's like you feel like you need to be productive, or you feel like you need to prove something. You feel like you need to do X, Y, Z and get to this and this destination to be worthy. And I think that's why you're being encouraged to slow down so much. And when I look at this card and I see the pentacle on the devil's head, this could very much be driven by like materialistic desires, like the desire to be this successful or to have this much abundance or to reach this goal so that you're viewed in a certain way. And I think your guides want you to take a moment and really ask yourself why. Like, why do I need to get there? Why is this destination so important to me? Is it because I really want to go there? Is that what's going to make me the happiest? Is that what's going to bring me peace? Or is it because I'm worried too much about what I think people expect me to do? Is it because I'm putting a lot of my worth on what I do outwardly and what I've accomplished? I really think this is a pattern that your guides are wanting you to break. It's interesting that we have so many fathers. I'm going to look into that more, but first, what I noticed is that we have all 4 elements here. This represents earth, with Capricorn being an earth sign. Then we have water, air, and fire. So this to me looks like a message to balance all of your energies. There's a balance that I think you guys need to figure out within yourselves, within your general energy. For example, the balance between being, spontaneous, playful, and carefree, and between being practical and grounded and stable. The balance between being in your head and being in your heart. We can see these sort of dichotomies being presented here, and I'm not saying that one way is better than the other. I think you just need to find a balance between them. Going back to this energy that your guides are pointing out in you, there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting structure in your life and wanting predictability and wanting to know things and having a sense of control. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be productive and achieve material success. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, those are very good things, very good traits for us to have that can lead to a lot of growth. But the problem is when you let that overpower and you let it stress you out. And that's, I think, where you guys need to bring in a little bit more of that heart-based thinking, a little bit more of openness to unpredictability, and a little bit more spontaneity, like embracing that you don't always know or embracing the unexpected. So let's get to these fathers now, because I'm really wondering why you have 3 fathers that have came out. Some of you guys may have 3 spirit guides and they're coming through like this. For any of you who read your own tarot cards, maybe this is telling you that if a father, or I should say if a king card appears, it's a spirit guide letting you know that they're there. So if you're doing a reading for yourself and, the King of Wands comes out or the King of Cups or anything, you can say like, oh, hey, that's my spirit guide. They're coming through in this reading to tell me something. They may use the kings to do that. But I actually want to get more to the bottom of who each of these individuals are, because I am thinking that they represent some person or some being in your life. So I think I want to take clarifiers as for who each of these people are. Okay, so let's get one for the Father of Cups. I don't know if I've ever done this in a video, but I want to know. The Father of Cups. So let's ask then, like, is it a romantic partner? Is it a soul family member? Is it a work partner? Is it a spirit guide? Who are they trying to tell you about? Okay, so the Father of Cups, I'm thinking this will be a romantic partner. This will be a lover, a love interest in your life. The Father of Swords, I think that this is a spirit guide. Ooh. And the Father of Wands, this would be a soul family member that you may have a work connection with. Interesting. So there's 3 very important beings in your life who are coming through in this reading. Perhaps you're manifesting connections with them, or if there's already somebody in your life who you were thinking may have this special spiritual connection with you, that could be a confirmation. But that's interesting, especially for those of you who do your own tarot readings. If you guys get the King of Cups a lot, that could represent your soulmate. If you get the King of Swords a lot, that could represent your spirit guide. And if you get the King of Wands a lot, that could represent your soul family member and your work partner. That's cool. I've never had something like that happen before in a reading, like 3 court cards in a row like that, and they're all the same. They're all fathers. All right, so moving on now, these 2 cards here are crystal oracle cards, and I wanted to take a couple crystal cards because there may be some crystals if you keep them around you. If you keep them nearby, it could help you to connect more with your spirit guides. So let's see what they have selected. There's orange sapphire and kyanite. Okay, so when it comes to sapphire, I feel like that's pretty expensive. So I don't know if I could tell you that you should go out and buy some sapphire, but I think that any orange crystal will have the same effect, such as orange calcite or orange carnelian, something like this. Stones of this color help to boost our creativity. So what I'm thinking your guides might be telling you with this is that when you're able to slow down, calm yourself down, and balance your energies, you could actually find a burst of creative inspiration coming out. Like suddenly you have all these ideas and it's coming out effortlessly. Like you can start your projects without hesitation. You can see them through to the end without any blockages, without losing inspiration. Being still and receptive is really, really the key for you guys here. And it's going to help you put out more in the world and be even more productive than you were when you were so worried about being productive. It's kind of ironic, but I really think slowing down is the key for you guys to doing more and being more successful and being more fulfilled in your endeavors. So orange crystals could really help you to embody that energy, and they could help you bring in your spirit guides as well. Now, as for how you can learn how to relax, how you can learn to be more calm and more open, I think this is where kyanite comes in, because this is a stone that is very, very soothing. It actually helps a lot in meditation. So if you guys do have trouble with meditating, if you were resonating with that message earlier about the tendency of going into a meditation and already thinking about the outcome that you want and putting a lot of pressure on it, just putting that expectation on the meditation such that you cannot really clear your mind, this could be super helpful for you. I believe kyanite is a lot more affordable than sapphire, so if you guys can get like some tumbled kyanite, or again any blue stone should do just fine. This could help you a lot to clear your thoughts and be able to have more productive meditation sessions, and to allow your guides to come through more easily. So this is going to be the final card of the reading, and this is just going to be a last message for you from your guides. So let's see what they have to say for you. And it says, let yourself sparkle and shine. You are guided to be bold and show your bigger than life side to the world. This card really makes me think about boldly and unapologetically being your most authentic self. You guys who are drawn to this pile, if you are resonating with this overthinking tendency, you guys may be, and I don't know if this is the right word, but like curating your personality, basically choosing, which parts are acceptable for you to show and which parts maybe you need to hide because people are going to think this and that about it, or I only want to show my strengths and not my weaknesses. Basically like this picking and choosing of what parts of yourself are worthy. And this card is asking you to embrace all of it, because we're finding balance between each and every single facet of you. All of the energies that are within you, they're all equally beautiful, and there's space for all of them to come through. So this card is about letting yourself be yourself in your entirety. Again, you guys are being encouraged from your spirit guides to get back in touch with yourself and ask yourself if what you think you want in this moment is truly what your heart wants and truly what is going to bring you happiness, peace, and fulfillment in your life, or if you're just trying to, check some boxes off your to-do list so that you can prove something to yourself or prove something to others. Where is the motivation coming from to do the things that you have told yourself you wanted to do? And if you don't know the answer right away, just be still and let it come to you. Don't pressure it. Don't put any expectation on it. Just let it come up as it is. And that's where you will find your authentic self. And that's where you will find this self that is going to be so embraced by your soulmate, by your soul family, and so, so loved already by your spirit guides. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you chose the Black Moonstone, this is going to be your reading. So let's see how your spirit guides are currently trying to communicate with you. So I'm going to start with these oracle cards here. First, we have Breathe, Never Ending Story, and Truth Be Told. It seems like with all 3 piles, there's been some sort of focus on meditation, which is really interesting. It seems like a lot of our spirit guides right now as a collective are encouraging us to more so go within and find the messages from within ourselves rather than looking for signs in the world around us as a form of external validation. And I've been saying this in every pile, so I'm sorry if you're watching more than one. But when I say this, I don't mean to say that your guides are not going to give you signs in the outside world. It just may be that right now they're putting more of a focus on finding the messages from your inner world. So getting messages from your guides and from your higher self through meditation or through the dreams that you're having. Basically things that are coming from within. I think that's coming through really strongly with the Breathe card, as she is clearly meditating. This is actually the card in all 3 readings I think that screams meditation the most. So you guys may want to do a guided meditation to meet your spirit guide. I know that there are a lot of those online. There are even ones that you can actually physically see your spirit guide. They'll come to you and show you what they look like and talk to you from, I guess, a semblance of a physical body, which is really, really cool. But if that's not really your style, you can also totally do this on your own, just sitting down comfortably or even lying down. You certainly don't have to be in the pose that this fairy is in. I myself like to meditate lying down or even when I'm sleeping, so it's really whatever works for you. And just moving on to this never-ending story, my eyes keep going to the hourglass here, which is of course making me think of time. So if I can translate this into a way that your spirit guides communicate with you, I would say it's pretty likely that your spirit guides are putting certain numbers on the clock to get your attention and to give you messages of confirmation. So actually, with that being said, I'm just going to take a look at the numbers on these cards. So there's 29, which adds up to 11, and then this adds up to 10. So you guys could be seeing like 11, 11, or 10, 10, or repeating ones. We even have a 1 on this card right here. That might be a really significant number that is popping up, especially when you look at the clock. You might find yourself like 2, 3, 4 times a day looking at the clock and seeing 11, seeing a bunch of ones. What your guides are trying to tell you is that you are manifesting a new start in your life. Now, when I look at the energy of this never-ending story card, or when I look at the imagery, I should say, it looks like this person is stuck in a rut. So you guys may be feeling like you've been trying to manifest for quite some time, but you're just getting more of the same old thing. You may be feeling quite frustrated or quite stuck with the way things currently are in your life. And your guides want you to know that they have heard you and that this new start is coming. This new breakthrough is coming. And now that I think about that as well, while meditation can be a really great way to meet and to communicate with your spirit guides, this could also be a really nice way for you guys to find your peace amidst the waiting time. That was kind of a bad sentence, but I know that the waiting time for our manifestation can be very frustrating. It can lead to doubts popping up, wondering if we've blocked something or if we've done something wrong. And I think meditation could be a really, really nice way to find your peace in the middle of that uncertainty and restore your faith that it is truly coming. It can really shift your mindset in a powerful way. And I think that's why I see it coming up so much throughout these readings. Now, moving on to this truth be told, I'm getting a heavy relationship vibe from this card within this reading, both romantic and platonic. But what it looks like, if you look at this owl standing on top of the mask, it looks like you guys are rising above like fakeness, rising above superficial connections. You're taking that mask off and you're preparing yourself. You're creating space for really authentic and really genuine relationships where you can be completely open, where you can let your truth out and really, really show your heart without fear. That's what this card looks like. And, you know, the owl being a symbol of wisdom, it's making me think that you guys are highly intuitive and you will be incredibly discerning when it comes to who you let into your life. So your guides are saying, please don't be afraid of that. Please don't doubt your judgment. Regardless of, you know, maybe you have let in some harmful connections in your past, your guides are saying that you have grown and matured a lot since then. And it's safe to trust your judgment when it comes to letting certain people into your life. I think you guys have a really, really good sense of who you are now and what is good for you. And it can be really, really scary to open up those windows of your heart, but your guides want you to feel safe in doing so. They promise they're only going to bring you the best soulmates, again, both romantically and platonically. Another thing that could be an outward sign for you guys is actually birds. And it's so funny because just a couple days ago, I saw an owl. It was on the roof and it was just sitting there and staring at me, and it wasn't going anywhere. It just sat there, and I definitely took that as a sign. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an owl, but just be on the lookout for any birds who are, you know, eyeing you, staring you down, or behaving in a funny way, or a bird that comes really, really close to your house. That can be your spirit guide just saying hello. I remember when I was living in my old apartment in Tokyo, I used to have crows coming up all the time, and that was really, really sweet. So that could be another sign for you guys. And I do often see in the comments that a lot of you are seeing birds and taking them as a sign, so hopefully you guys can relate to that message. So let's get into the tarot now. There's the Four of Swords, which is funny because it's another meditation card. Oh, that's upright. Eight of Swords, Three of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. And as some of you may notice, I don't often take reversals. Some of you guys ask me why. It's just a preference thing. I just prefer to read them in the upright. But look what we have here. We have even more birds. We have a group of birds this time, and we even have these swords look an awful lot like 1111. So there's a whole lot of 1s and 11s going on in this reading for you guys. There's also butterflies in two of the cards. So butterflies could be another sign for you. Birds and butterflies. Looking at this group of birds here, pay attention to the number that you see, because that could be telling of what you guys are manifesting. So for example, if you see two birds that are flying together or perched on a branch huddled up together, that could be a sign of manifesting a romantic soulmate. If you see a cute little flock of birds flying together, it could be a sign of a soul family. I think a single one would just be a nice loving greeting from your spirit guide, but I think they're telling you that the number kind of matters because it will translate into what person or people is coming into your life. But you're coming into a time of your life that is so filled with joy. The Three of Cups is a very happy, lighthearted card. There's a lot of joy. It has an energy of celebration in it. So any stress or sadness that you guys have been feeling is just melting away. This is what you're manifesting. I also want to take a look at the two cards that have butterflies on them. This card, it makes me think of somebody who is scared to open up, somebody who is scared to spread their wings for fear of being attacked. So those of you who are resonating with this desire to attract healthier relationships, you guys may have had a past where when you showed your true self to somebody, you were criticized or you were knocked down or you were dismissed, and that has made you now afraid of coming out and showing your true self. But your guides are saying when you find the right people, you're going to be able to spread your wings and fly like the butterfly on this card. This is the transformation that you're going through. You're finding the courage and the faith to come out of this cocoon and open up again and really spread your wings. I'm looking at the infinity sign here as well, showing that the souls you're about to encounter, you've been with them forever. You're going to immediately recognize them. You're going to immediately feel safe with them. I'm also feeling that you guys really, really balance each other out. You may not be exactly the same or have everything in common because they are different colors on each side of the butterfly, but your differences complement each other. And your differences are embraced rather than being judged. Your guides are also saying that anybody who has judged you in the past or tried to put you down in the past, it was because they're insecure. So if you can, please forgive them. If you're not ready to do that, that's completely fine. But it has nothing to do with you. They were just insecure. There was something about your authentic self that made them feel threatened or that made them feel inferior, and they felt the need to knock you down. Please, please don't take it personally or think it has anything to do with you. So, like I said a bit earlier in the reading, I think you guys have done a lot of maturing and you've done a lot of healing as well. This Four of Swords, this is also a card of healing. So I have a little message for you guys here. We've been saying throughout this reading that your guides have heard you and they've been working to bring your manifestation. Now, for those of you who are feeling frustrated because it's not here yet, perhaps you're thinking, you know, I feel like I'm so ready for this. I've done my growth. I've done my healing. I really feel like I've learned what I needed to learn and I've come into alignment with my true self. Where's my soul family? Where is my soulmate? You could be feeling a little bit confused or frustrated with that. Your guides are saying, remember that there's other people involved in this equation. So just because you have completed your healing, it doesn't necessarily mean that your soulmate or the members of your soul family have completed their healing. There may be some important lessons that they need to learn before they're ready to come into this union with you. So it's really important to respect that, and it's really important to be patient with them. That being said, since you guys are, of course, spiritually connected to these people, you can set the intention to send loving and healing vibes to them, and that's really, really going to help them on their journey. So moving on to the next cards now. These are a couple crystal oracle cards. And I wanted to take these because there may be some crystals that your guides would like to encourage you to keep around in order to boost your energy, to help you with anything that you're currently working on energetically, and also maybe to help bring them in and to help them communicate with you more clearly. So let's see what we have here. Amazonite and Big Spite. And oh my gosh, guys, look, it's 2 and 9 again, so it adds up to another 11. This is insane. I wonder if you guys are seeing this in real life as much as we're seeing it in this reading, because if not, I would bet that you're about to start seeing this very, very soon. That's crazy how much it has come out. So when it comes to the meaning of these crystals, it really, really looks like you guys you're hitting the jackpot. You're really manifesting the whole package. Both of these cards are related to the heart chakra, so they are very good for soothing your emotional body and helping you to attract love and peace into your life. More specifically, the Amazonite is also really good for abundance and good fortune. And the big spite is really good for your health, both physical and mental health, including feelings of self-esteem and feelings of confidence. So this is a really nice, well-rounded set of crystals for you. I know that Amazonite is relatively inexpensive, so maybe you guys could find some tumbled stones to keep around that would help you connect with your spirit guides. But if not, any green crystal, any green or pink stone that you have around will do. Your guides are asking you to focus on your heart chakra, which makes a lot of sense because you are in the process of opening your heart and letting love into your life, manifesting loving connections. I wonder about Big Spite. I actually don't know. Oh shit, that is an expensive stone. Okay, you know what? We're gonna we're gonna encourage you to keep any green or pink stone that you have on hand. That's going to be really helpful for your heart chakra. It could help you in your meditations. You know what? It could even help you to visualize your soulmate. If you guys are looking for your soulmate, and you do a meditation with some green or pink stones, you could maybe see what your soulmate looks like. You could channel a message from them. Yes, yes, yes. This is really, really exciting. You guys are going to get a lot of intuitive insights from your heart space. Okay. This is really exciting. I'm so excited for you guys. You guys are going to be surrounded, completely surrounded by the love and support that you've been deserving of for so, so long. It's just so nice to see. Okay, so we're getting to the last card of the reading. This card is just going to be like a final message from your spirit guides, anything else that they would like to tell you. And we have Ready to Love Again. You've healed from the past enough to... Oh my gosh, it's like, it's so literal. Here she goes, messing up all the cards. It's so literal. I love that. You've healed from the past enough to open your heart to new love. Your guides are working tirelessly to send you this confirmation that new love is coming. Several times a day for a lot of you, I think. You guys are seeing or are going to be seeing very, very soon repeating numbers everywhere you go. Especially on the clock, they're saying, and especially 1s and 11s, because we've just seen that so much through the reading. If you guys aren't into meditating, get into that because you're gonna have some really, really cool breakthroughs. And I kept getting, you know, these sort of clairvoyant messages, like physically seeing your spirit guide, physically seeing your soulmate, which is super cool. I don't think that has happened to me before because clairvoyance is one of my weakest things. So if you guys have had that experience, let me know what it's like because I would really like to know. Yeah, pay attention to birds, pay attention to butterflies, and remember to be patient. You have done a lot of work and a lot of healing, but your soulmate or your soul family might just have a little bit more to do. So remain patient in the meantime and send them lots and lots and lots of love, just as your spirit guides are sending to you. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.